Hey guys, nerdy Star Wars Spoilers! Spoilers. I'm not doing that Last Jedi thing where I tried to just say, everyone did a really good job, and all that stuff. I'm just going straight into spoilers. Watch the movie. It's pretty decent. Okay, now go watch the movie and then come back. Okay, so this is going to be all over the place. It's just going to be a spoilery, rambling video. Okay, let's begin. I have nothing else to say. How did I feel about Alden Ehrenreich and Solo? I thought he did a pretty good job, actually. He really put all of his effort into this role. Problem is, you always have this comparison to Harrison Ford in your mind. I mean, if Harrison Ford was never Han Solo, then he would just be great. But you have that comparison to Harrison Ford in your mind. He's not exactly like the Han Solo we know. Even if at the end he starts to become him, sort of. Like, he shoots Beckett, he shot first. He shot first. So, I mean, yeah, he shoots first. Stuff like that. Speaking of Beckett, let's talk about Tobias Beckett, who's played by Woody Harrelson. I think he's actually pretty good in the movie. But I really liked that scene where Lando said that he killed Aura Singh. I remember Aura Singh. She originally showed up as a background character in The Phantom Menace, and then she was in the Clone Wars for a few episodes. And then it's really cool how I like that. I love the Easter eggs in this movie. I guess we could go into the Easter eggs and cameos now. Okay, let's talk about the big cameo first. I mean, casual fans are not going to understand what's going on with this cameo, but I 100% understood what was going on. Darth Maul. The Darth Maul cameo made so much sense. He had the double-bladed lightsaber from Rebels, and because we know from the Clone Wars that he's been running these crime syndicates, and he was voiced by Sam Witwer, who voiced him in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, and he was CGI. He was a hologram. They made him look CGI, but I loved it. It was so cool. I hope that if they make a sequel that Darth Maul comes back. I mean, he can't die because we all know how that turns out, but I want him to come back. He would be a really cool character. A couple of Easter eggs, like they mentioned Scarif, and the spice mines of Kessel is in the movie, and we know from Star Wars Rebels that that's where the Wookiees are slaves. And I'm pretty sure that Wookiee that put their head on Chewie was Mala, his wife. Well, they never said anything about that, though, which kind of makes me upset. Also, they have the dice, which I'm upset about, because it was originally in Legends, it was the dice that he won from the game in Sabak, where he won the Falcon. But in this movie, it's just something he has, like his lucky charm. And but all that aside, also Sabak. The Sabak was just like in the Star Wars comic, where Han admitted to Leia that he cheated in the Sabak, but only because Lando was cheating. So in the ending scene, Lando has this thing that he's using to always win. He has like these hidden cards. Han steals them, so to win the game of Sabak. So they both cheated in that game. It was really cool how they really are consistent with the lore. Okay, let's talk about all the throwaway characters like Val. She was cool. She was climbing around, and that was cool and all. But then she blew herself up. Here's Val right now. And then there was the monkey guy you saw, played by Jon Favreau. Like, Rio is his name. He just gets shot and obliterated. Like, he's like all melted and whatever because he was shot. He's blaster marks. They don't really add anything to the movie at all. Fun fact, Jon Favreau is actually writing and producing the live-action Star Wars show on the Disney streaming service. Buy it next year. Let's talk about Kyra, played by Emilia Clarke, the love interest in the movie. So, I don't know. I mean, She was fine at the beginning, but then they never really explain what these bad things that she does are. They're always saying she did terrible things. She swore allegiance to the Crimson Sun. Paul Bettany's fine in the movie. I don't know. I don't even remember his name. Anyway, I don't really know what's going on. And then at the end she tries to save Han by saying that Beckett stole all the whatever it was, like all that stuff, which was the whole plot of the movie. And I don't know. And then Darth Maul tells her to go to Dathomir, which makes sense, but still, I'm just confused about her character. Is she broken? What is going on? I just don't understand. Okay, Paul Bettany as the second in command of the Crimson Sun. He was fine. He acted all peaceful, but he was like hot-headed. He would lose his temper a lot. Also, he was supposed to be played by Michael K. Williams, this character, but because of the reshoots with the directors, he couldn't come back, so they casted Paul Bettany. Also, as a side note, Ron Howard was credited as the director, which makes sense. But then Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who were the former directors who were fired, or I don't know, they were credited as executive producers, so I didn't really understand that. Just something to mention about the Darth Maul scene that I forgot to mention before. When it first showed him, like, ominous, he kind of sounded like the Emperor. I thought it was the Emperor, because Sam Witwer who voiced him in the Clone and Rebels, he voiced the Emperor in the Force Unleashed games, so I thought that he was voicing the Emperor, and then I looked, and realized that voice was Darth Maul, and then I saw the legs, I realized that was Darth Maul, and it was awesome. Okay, now let's talk about Chewbacca. He feels like Chewbacca. He's good. I really liked him in this movie. Him and Han have a good relationship. And the way that they met, I thought that it was a Rancor. It sounded like a Rancor. And then I saw the fur. I realized it was Chewbacca. But they have a really good relationship. I would, if they were going to make another solo movie, I would want to focus more on the Han and Chewbacca relationship. Okay, let's talk about the Kessel Run scene. So, I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought it was pretty good, except for, like, the giant unnecessary tentacle monster and the gravity whirl thing, the gravity hole, whatever it was. That was fine. I liked how they tore it apart, and that's how it became the piece of junk that it was known as. What a piece of junk! You know, like what Luke says.
What a piece of junk!
And then I thought that Han was making some stupid mistakes though. And the Empire was there. They're like the Empire. It's like a background villain in Solo. They're like they're not really there. They're like this ominous threat that you know is around, but they're not really the main focus. So there's not even really a villain in this movie. That's kind of weird also, that there's no villain at all. The action in this movie is actually pretty good. One of my favorite action scenes in the movie is actually it's the 3 years later part where Han Solo is in the Imperial Army on a planet, and it's like explosions everywhere. It's like all out war. Everyone's screaming and they're getting vaporized. And it's just so cool. I really like that scene in particular. Speaking of Han Solo, we get to learn where he got his last name from. So he went by Han before, but then when he was signing up for the Imperial Academy, he said that he was all alone. So the Imperial who was signing him up said that he should be Han Solo. So that was pretty cool, I guess. Lando, played by Donald Glover in this movie, is actually pretty good. I mean, he feels like Lando, but he is getting some hate. Maybe it's more the movie, I don't know. Because of recent comments made by the writers about who he prefers, but I think that he's pretty good in the movie. He can't compare to Billy D, though. Billy D is slick. He's awesome. But Donald Glover's still pretty good. I would want to see him again. Espers Nest is this rival at the beginning, but then they turn out to be good. And then they team up with, and then Han Solo and his team up with them, even though a bunch of the crew was killed earlier in the movie by them. And I don't know why they would do that, even if they have a good reason. Also, Disney has this thing where they make these people look intimidating with these masks on. They have voice changers. And then when they take off their masks, they're just puny. It's like Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens, even though he is more intimidating without his mask in The Last Jedi. Now, time to talk about my least favorite character in the movie, L337. I do not like her. She is just a Star Wars droid SJW. I do not want political views in my Star Wars movie. This is just going to strengthen the hate. You know all the hate that Star Wars has been getting? That's all about SJWs now and the females and everything. This is going to make it a million times worse because not only is it political views in Star Wars, it's also just really shoehorned in and bad. It's not good. And now apparently L3 is part of the Millennium Falcon. So whenever Han says push a baby or something like that for the navigator, it's actually just talking to L3. Why? Just why? Okay, I liked Solo a lot. It's a flawed movie, but I liked a lot of things from it. So I don't really know what to give it. I'm torn between a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Maybe I'll 7.6 out of 10. Let's go with that. 7.6 out of 10 for now. But we're not doing that Last Jedi thing again where I was like, oh, well, I'm going to give it a 9.9 out of 10. No. I'm going to be more critical about my movies now. The Indiana Jones video is coming soon, okay, guys? Thanks for watching. May the Force be with you. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment, all that stuff. Okay, bye.